Do you consider killing an animal a good thing to do?
If it's needed, yes.
Is it needed for you?
Yes,
No.
absolutely.
I would argue that it's not needed for you because you have choices to make.
But
and
you don't know my
continue to make
situation.
the bad choice.
Well,
which
you're sitting in Jubilee Studio in Los Angeles.
Absolutely.
So I feel like you probably have access.
Welcome to Pegasus versus the World, where we take on challenges, comedy, trending topics, and some travel.
City boy, city boy.
I cannot even imagine what these people are about to say to this dude with the beard. I'm here for it. I'm interested in it. And we about to peep game. We're about to peep game. I pulled these clips from the Poor Man podcast. Make sure you go over to his channel and support what he's doing. He always puts together some of the best clips and conversation pieces within the I would just call it the culture war. You know, he does a lot of stuff revolving around the culture war, a lot of commentary, but it's solid. It's solid. Anyways, peep game. We're not even gonna say a side like politically or whatever. We're just gonna look at these people, listen to the conversation, and try to pick which side is running with logic and common sense and which side isn't. And we could talk about that in the comments, but this is already starting off interesting. I don't know where it's gonna go. I'm guessing maybe it's like a vegan, like the vegan. You know what I'm talking about, right? Because they talking about animals, and I'm like, yeah, you have like just off the rip. I'm like, bro, human beings. There is no human being or tribe that has survived, like I think a generation. There's a statistic out there from eating plants. Every tribe, every human, every generation has pretty much thrived off of animal protein. So, I mean, I think the vegan thing, I think there's a lot of unhealthy things that, you could get presented as a vegan, because there's a lot of seed oils and stuff that I personally don't want to put into my body. However, I do think there is a route to a healthy lifestyle with the vegan concept, but you need supplementation, right? Just like even if you're doing carnivore or stuff like that, you get most of what you need, but the earth's been depleted. Sometimes the meat is depleted, blah, blah, blah. Even grass-fed stuff, just because, the soil's been depleted. So sometimes almost most people, as they get to a certain age, need certain supplementation. But anyways, I don't want to go too crazy without hearing the combo, but that seems where we're leading. If you guys want to support me, like, share, comment, subscribe. You can also check out the description for my music reaction channel, which is super laid back, no politics over there, just music, just fun, just talking. And then we got the podcast, which is probably going to get tinfoily.
killing an animal a good thing to do?
If it's needed, yes.
Is it needed for you?
Yes,
No.
absolutely.
I would argue that it's not needed for you because you have choices to make.
But
and
you don't know my
continue to make
situation.
the bad choice.
Well,
which
you're sitting in Jubilee Studio in Los Angeles.
Absolutely.
So I feel like you probably have access to a grocery store.
So it's better for me to go to the grocery store and buy a hamburger package
No.
that was killed by somebody,
No,
God knows
hunting
where.
is better than buying meat from the grocery store, but
Okay, that was logical. Hunting is better than buying meat from the grocery store. So we got the first logical statement. He made a logical statement saying, yeah, you don't know my situation. I do need to eat meat. So let's see.
I choose to not eat either kind of
That's
meat.
fine, and that's your choice.
Right, and it's fine for you to have your opinion and me to have my opinion, but the
100%.
reason that one person feels more passionately about it than the other is because one person's choices has victims and the other one's doesn't.
Like when you're talking about this,
One person's choice has victims, the other one doesn't. You do know in the ecosystem that animals get eaten by other stuff. Deer get eaten by wolves. Everything. It's literally an ecosystem for a reason. And eating plants. Okay. These people who think like this, let me know if I'm off with my thinking. Let me check myself and try to free my ego from going on a crazy rant. Typically, a person like that believes in living things. All things are living for the most part. That's what they believe. Typically, I could be wrong, general blanket statement. I don't understand what when we're talking about living things, like people act like plants aren't alive. Like everything has an ecosystem. And what's even crazy is there's carnivorous plants. There's literally plants that eat bugs and other things. I always knew about the Venus flytrap, but my daughter we're homeschooling, and there's this whole segment about carnivorous plants. And I was like, what the? I'd never heard of this one. What do they eat? What? I just think it's wild. And my thing is she's talking about her opinion, which this dude probably is not going out protesting vegans, protesting this, that. He's just chilling, eating meat. But it's always a certain person that needs to push their opinions and belief system upon you. Oh, because I don't eat meat, you shouldn't eat meat. And this is why, because there's victims there. It's like, MFer, we wouldn't even have survived as a human species without animal protein. You do get that, right? I'm just, what? Anyways, let's see.
Supposedly natural food chain, like lions don't have weapons.
Yeah, they do. They've got a bunch of them on the end of their
Sure,
fingers.
it's their
We got another illogical one. She said lions don't have weapons. Really? Yo, and he just hit him with the common sense. Like, what?
Choices has victims and the other ones doesn't.
like when you're talking about this supposedly natural food chain, like lions don't have weapons.
Yeah, they do. They've got a bunch of them on the end of their
Sure,
fingers.
it's their body. You know, we're not going out sinking our teeth into the throats of animals and ripping.
If we could, we would,
their
though.
throats out.
But we can't, so it's not really the food
I can't
chain
fly
any
either.
longer.
Should I not get on an
And
airplane?
let's remember,
Well, no, because my question is, if a gun wasn't given to you as a child, would you have invented that piece of technology yourself? If not, I don't believe you have the right to use it because it's no longer the natural food
Do you know how to
chain.
make shoes?
What?
Do you know how to make shoes?
This isn't taking the life of somebody
It doesn't
else.
matter.
And I'm not, this has nothing
You don't
to
have
do with the food chain.
You don't have the right to wear shoes if you don't know how to make them. How does that sound?
food chain is such an
Yo, what are we talking about? Yo, on some real unless she is the most elite hippie in the world, a lot of times shoes are made out of shit that you're just like, oh shit, like, oh, I didn't know it was made out of this. I'm not saying she wearing some sheepskin gaiters, you know, but come on, man. She just answered that so quickly, and I'm like, the logic behind her arguments are insane. Tell me I'm tripping, you guys, please. Tell me I'm wrong. Just say it and say why in the comments. Because I don't. Wow. This is where we're at.
If a gun wasn't given to you as a child, would you have invented that piece of
Do you know how long it took to like the creation of the gun? Like, it was a process. It was an evolution. Literally, she's asking a question that is ignorant, because even if that was like, there is a possibility he would have invented a gun. But again, it would have been a process, because human nature is curious, and our curiosity is what sparked all these different technological leaps. Guns were invented, sister. And they were invented by a man. And now you're asking a man, would he have invented a gun if it wasn't given to, if history repeats itself? Yes. Would he have invented it in his lifetime? Probably not, because that's not how it would work. But their question has been answered, because we did invent guns. And he just hits them with the like, okay, so we can't wear shoes, we can't fly planes because we didn't invent the shit. Like, it doesn't even make sense. The argument doesn't even make sense. Y'all tap in. Maybe I'm missing something. I'm not the greatest debater in the world, whatever. I just come on here and talk my
technology yourself? If not, I don't believe you have the right to use it because it's no longer the natural food
Do you know
chain.
how to make shoes?
What?
Do you know how to make shoes?
This isn't taking the life of somebody
It doesn't
else.
matter.
And I'm not, this has nothing
You don't
to
have
do with the food chain.
You don't have the right to wear shoes if you don't know how to make them. How does that sound?
food chain is such an obsolete and outdated term in today's society. Can a lion go to the grocery store to purchase?
It may not be good, but it sure does taste good. And since when did people start entertaining the conversations of these types of people? They try to attack your character by painting you as a bad person by asking you to justify killing and death. Sure, death and killing isn't good, but unfortunately, it's a process that's necessary for other things to live. For example, if you only eat plant-based foods, what about the hundreds of thousands of bugs that were grounded up during the harvesting process? Or what about the thousands of small mammals that were grounded up during the harvesting process? At the end of the day, this is a childish conversation that you're privileged if you can even afford to have it.
Bruh, did he hit that one out the park? Like the fact that we're in America, in a place where you can have this conversation, because trust me, you know, in a tribe in Africa, in the slums of Colombia, slums of Brazil, the slums of Mexico, you know, people ain't arguing about, like, if they see a chicken, you know how it gets in the club, man. 4/5 in the club. You know, when you go to islands in different countries, chickens just be rolling around. Well, they're either producing eggs or they about to become that produce. Man, people got to eat, man. They eating cats in some countries. And I ain't talking about the Haitian stuff. Like, you know, some of the Asian countries, they have certain delicacies that are just different. They're just different. But the fact that we going to act like eating animal protein hasn't got us to where we're at is crazy to me. Just acknowledge that fact. The other thing is that bald dude, like, this talking all soft. If he's hetero, I mean, no Diddy times infinity, y'all. No Diddy times infinity. But I always wonder, man, like, sometimes you got to get a little masculine when you have an sex, man. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Pop it off a little bit. I just can't imagine a dude like that, no Diddy times infinity, having sex with a girl. Oh my gosh, is it okay to go in? Should I go a little further? Like, it just seems weird, bro. It seems like he's totally disattached from even his nature. So I ain't going to listen to you talk about nature, man. Like, you on some soft bullshit. That's just me, man. Anyways, shout out to them, at least having the convo with some...
Or what about the thousands of small mammals that were grounded up during the harvesting process? At the end of the day, this is a childish conversation that you're privileged if you can even afford to have it.
Your political system's so broken.
Before we continue, if you could please point on the map to where you live.
That's just a map of the United States. I don't live there.
Ah, you're close. This is a map of places you could live for me to potentially start giving a shit about your political opinion. And you'll notice whatever continent you're from, not on here.
California isn't on there either.
I am aware.
He gave California back to Mexico. Oh my gosh. That's exactly how I feel on YouTube making commentary. Typically all the Americans pop up and they're like, yeah, man, you got a point. Then all the people from other countries be like, bro, blah, 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 blah. And I ain't knocking them. I don't want to hear their opinion on a place that I live and I pay taxes on. But in general, like, I'm down to hear your opinion on life and certain things, you know, but I don't need to hear your opinion on censorship and gun control and, you know, illegal immigration. I just don't, because you don't live here and you don't pay taxes. I paid the taxes. I'm the one being taxed. I'm the one in America building businesses. I mean, where's the lie, man? People get mad, but, I mean, come on, bro. How am I going to listen to you, man? Yo, what type of transformation am I? What? The first picture was her? Where are we going with this?
No! No! Oh my God, I don't get paid enough for this fucking bullshit.
I don't know what it is about a woman that hates men, but they just start to look bad. They start to age horribly. They cut their hair, dye it blue, and start dressing like a lumberjack. Like, every time a woman be...
Oh, no. If that's really her, I'm done. I'm done today, you guys. I'm not gonna roast someone. I'm not roasting. Oh, wow. I've seen some transformations, you know. I've seen some transformations in real life. I'm not like that either, just from having a tough life. And I'm like, I'm just gonna leave this one alone. I'm gonna leave this one alone. I'm tapping out early. Ain't getting nothing broken. Ain't getting put to sleep. I tap. I'm out. I'm out, you guys. I love y'all, man. Stay safe.
City boy! City boy!